life is about preparation. I'm prepared with ideas over the years. For the country to have a very deep conversation about the way we are, things are not right with Nigeria. No matter what national member are saying, things are not right. Things are not right with Nigerian people. Our structure is not working, and we have to change. So that's motivation. I put a document out. People said, "Oh, I should." I said, "No. I want the public to discuss from ground up now, seeing what has now happened. That the topic is quite interesting to the people. We want people now to seize the opportunity and work for change. Nigeria needs drastic change, not incremental change. If we sleepwalk our way towards 2027, where to run, you need 100 million to get a form. To run for Senate, you need 50 million to get a form. Then we are going to be in for a very big disappointment.
How?
It means money bags will own the system, and they said that will come in 27 now. They will need SUV for themselves too, because that's this. So if you don't start to bring about change now, to bring citizens who really want to work for the people into the system, and we have less than 1 year to do something, because the change will not happen overnight. It will take some period. So I will dwell into it that we just have to change. If you don't do anything 27, then for the next 10 years, we are sentenced to bad governance.
Okay, so didn't we say the same thing? I recall during the COVID period, many of us, when we used to have a lot of Zoom meetings and we discussed some of these things, people want that if certain things didn't happen before 2021, 2022, for the 2023 election, that we're going to find ourselves. Some even argue that the nation will no longer exist. But here we are existing, but some would also argue that we are now using oxygen, or we are on a life support. But we have been on this life support for so long. So question is, do you think that the people are not pushing enough, or that those that we have yielded our powers to represent us are not giving us return on our investment?
Human beings are not amenable to change. When we were saying it in 2021, people thought it was a joke. But 8 years of Buhari administration should have opened us to the new need for change. The economy is grounded. All multinationals are going the way, unemployment is there. Environment in Nigeria is very hostile for even Nigerians to invest in Nigeria. Running diesel, we have not tackled power problem, we have not tackled electricity problem, we have not tackled any problem. All we have been doing is to elect new set of rulers every 4 years, and they are our masters. When are we going to start problem of development? Are we going to continue with just politics? And until we look at the structure of Nigeria, to decentralize it, to lower the temperature, you go and work in your own territory. But we are still Nigerians. We have competitive spirits from all across Nigeria on who can do better, who can do well, the way it was in the early 60s. If we don't bring that back, we're going to lose another 4-year opportunity. I pray we don't, because we need to act now to bring about change to the polity. We are bankrupt. That's just the truth of the matter. We need to re-aggregate again in a point where we'll be efficient in management of resources. The document here now is that we cannot sustain 36 regions of Nigeria. We cannot sustain 774 regions of local government in Nigeria. They are unproductive centers of governance. Can we free resources now so that instead of running for Senate, go and set up industry in your local government, go and set up business. Don't make government to be the only source of employment. So we need to re-aggregate the political entities and And we need to do it now so that if you are going to run election in 2027, it will be based on the new framework, a new constitution that will not need for us to have 48 ministers. We are not going to have 750 federal parastatals in Abuja. Many of them doing the same thing. For instance, there is Voice of Nigeria, News Agency of Nigeria, FRCN, NTA, all doing what? Each of these four bodies have office in 36 states, and they are drawing salary. Who is watching NTA?
They are creating employment.
Well, disguised employment. And fundamentally, we have JAMB, we have NECO, we have WAEC. Students are just being tasked. In other countries, you do only one exam to enter university, but we are doing 3. So there are many areas of waste that we have to look into. We don't need to just keep pouring our resources away on youth level. We need to go into AI. We need to develop IT. This money can be free to be developed, infused into other parts of the economy. So time is now for us to act. It will take 2 or 3 years to organize, and prepare a document that's acceptable so that 27 elections will be based on the new framework where election will not be so monetized. Must I go to campaign the whole country? After paying 100 million for form, I will spend 10 billion to be holding rallies and just shouting, not even having for you to say what you want to do for the people. Okay, Tinubu, now what has he promised? Can somebody show 1 hour lecture where he said, this is what I believe for Nigeria? But he went around Nigeria just saying slogan, and that's what we are ending with. We shouldn't repeat this in 2027. Now is the time for us to plan to change.
Now is the time for us to plan to change. That is a very interesting word. Then I take on this. You're basically saying that the National Assembly would take a lead on this. But I'll ask, when you published this and when this document went viral, the same National Assembly disowned you, disowned the document, never even bothered to find who is behind it and to call for discussions. Are they the same people you want Nigerians to take this to again?
Well, we cannot plan a military coup. They are still on the throne, but as a Christian, the wall of Jericho did not just fall down. It takes consecutive action of people to say no. Even in contemporary world, in America, there was March on Washington in 1962, led by Martin Luther King. They marched on Washington, and the government that was for whites, they knew now that the blacks cannot take no for an answer. So there was Bill of Rights for the black people. There was affirmative action for black people. So this document is to kickstart awareness. We have to push the Senate to do what they don't want to do. They are in the comfort zone. They just both do for themselves. But at whose expense? This document is to stimulate mass action, not violent, to communicate with all senators as already to say, this is what you want. We want a change. This is the beginning of it. And God helping us, we will not stop.
Welcome back to Local Journal, my people. I like the courage and the tenacity of this man, Dr. Akin Fakunda. He don't come out again. They explain the reason why Nigeria needs a new constitution. We know say no be the first time where this man they come on air, they talk about this issue with this. And if we go be very sincere with ourselves, we know say the constitution what they use currently for inside this country, no be better constitution it be. The current constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria now one of the biggest problems that we get for inside this country. This current constitution what they use, it empower some few people to embezzle and sit on the public wealth where all of us Nigerians supposed enjoy, and they also give other regions specific advantage over the other regions. Now this constitution now they make our lawmakers, senators and the rest go enter Abuja after we don't vote them put for power, and they not go remember the poor masses again. He talk say if Nigeria continue to dey use this constitution like this, Nigeria no go fit ever move forward. And na the reason why im take am upon himself where he dey do some of these interviews where he dey do on air be that. Now one thing wey I see inside this whole thing, and one thing wey I pick for inside this thing where this man dey talk, only this man no go fit do this thing, and unless you start to dey pressure the government and tell the government say na wetin we want be this whole thing no go fit come to fruition. You dey see how comfortable and reluctant the legislative arm of government, the judicial arm of government, and the executive arm of government dey today for inside this country. Nobody dey send the poor masses because they know say they no go fit do anything. You see the whole charade where they go on inside this country, and wetin our leaders dey do. Our leaders don study us and they know say we no fit do anything as masses because we no dey united at all. And if we continue to dey behave in this manner, make I tell you, Nigeria no go fit go anywhere. If you talk say I no dey for inside this country again, abi me I don old already, abi my people no dey live for inside Nigeria, make I tell you, posterity no go dey fair on us at all. You know say na the division of Nigeria na many people dey wish for. Many people opinion be say they want make this country separate, make every region dey on their own. But now when the thing no dey possible, if you go fit fight for a change of constitution where everything start to dey make sense now, you go start dey happy say we no even break apart, because if I no go lie you, there are numerous advantages in our unity. Our population na our strength e be, and our population dey give us good advantage. But unfortunately for us, wetin we dey experience inside this country, the population don dey turn as if na curse e be for Nigeria. However, we no go fit allow this one make it deter us at all. We know say na some few element and an ethnic group na dey cause all this problem wey we dey get for inside this country. And when the time is right, abi when Nigerians decide to act, we go solve that problem wey we dey get. So wetin me I dey appeal to every Nigerians na to support wetin this man dey talk, so that we go fit pressure our leaders, so that we go fit pressure the executive, so that we go fit pressure the legislature, and so that we go fit pressure the judicial arm of government, so that they go fit implement wetin this man dey talk, and so that we go fit get new constitution. If we study the constitution wey we get, wey we dey use currently, the 1999 constitution as amended, we go know say na military constitution e be, and e no good for the growth of this country at all. So make we join heads with this man, so that we go fit take this country to the place where this country suppose dey. So I go play the remaining part of the video so that we go fit watch and lis ten to wetin this man talk. But before that one, if today na be the first time wey you dey visit our channel, abeg make you like, make you share, make you subscribe.
If I look, reading the details of that document, I believe in page 6, 3.8, where it says the Prime Minister in concert with the Council of Ministers. Now, the job description therein and the argument posited here, I would want to ask, we are not practicing the parliamentary system of government. How did you then import the Prime Ministership for discussion in this document?
Well, we are not existing as an island in the world. We will have a president who is a father figure of the nation, but not executive president that has 60 SUVs following him around. A president that will command the loyalty and respect of every citizen is in the document. We now have a person running the government on day to day. The way it is prescribed in that document is not all in all. It's written there that he must act in concert with the ministers. It's not to be saying, oh, I employ my ministers and they're my minister. No. He is going to be drawn from the parliament. As he's elected by the parliament to be prime minister, he will choose his ministers from the National Assembly also.
So before you become a minister, you must first become...
You must first be, not just must be elected in the parliament. So prime minister will be a member of parliament. The minister will also be a member of parliament. So if we start running the government, and let's say I'm a minister, and you are president, if I don't like what you are doing, I can have merit to resign from your government. I still retain my seat in parliament because my people still elected me to occupy my seat. Being a minister is a temporary appointment, it's a national duty. I'm still earning my salary as minister, no more. In fact, in the document there, all ministers, all parliament members are to be funded by their regions of origin. If you come to Abuja, there is no salary for you. In effect, a member of parliament from Bayelsa, they might give me a jet if he wants. Member from Osun State that is broke, we might say, look, if you have no house in Abuja, you cannot be in Abuja for us. We have no house for you. It's like United Nations in New York. US is there, Britain is there, Germany is there. If you like, check into an hotel. So Abuja will now be based on where you are coming from. You are not coming to Abuja to lord over your citizens. It's in the document that minister will be willing to actually come and serve at the pleasure of the people behind. If you are elevated to become a minister in the cabinet, the prime minister has no unbearing control over you. What we have now, president is appointed. He brings all his friends to reward them, to make them ministers, and nobody can control the president. That's not what I propose in my document. This one actually is organic, and you relate with your people, and you are serving at their pleasure. It's emphasized that you'll be paid, disciplined, handled by your constituents. You cannot get a car in Abuja, you cannot get a house in Abuja unless provided for you from your region or your state. That's a novel provision in my document.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Now, I also have here with me another document that is yet to be public, but at least in our conversation, we have it here on this platform. And we also, those watching us now will feel privileged to see this document firsthand. The title here is Proposed States of Nigeria to Guide National Conversations. Therein is where propositions has been made to remove the states, the way so known today, and replace them with, remove the regions, as it were in 1963 to 1967, to replace them with states. Can you walk us through, because the viewers are now looking at this on the screen, can you walk us through this map so produced here?
This document was produced under the auspices of a new body, Coalition of Indigenous Ethnic Nationalities of Nigeria, comprising all leaders of ethnic nationalities, Andoni, Ijos, Yorubas, Igbos, Middle Belters, Hausas, all of us are there. We are proposing that Nigeria be aggregated back from the 36 states now to 9 states. People are using words without understanding the meaning. What is a region? In geography, region is a territorial space that has boundaries. That space, we were used to calling them regions in 1960. Western region, Eastern region, Northern region. In 1967, we changed to states, but it was still Northeastern state, Northwestern state, Western state at that time. So now, to avoid confusion, that the objective of this latest document is to re-aggregate the political entities of Nigeria into a manageable number. Is proposed from the think tank. CIEN is a think tank. It's not dictated to Nigeria, but for working document, for discussion, we came out that a nice state structure would be ideal for consideration.
Nice state structure.
Nice state structure.
Would that then mean that the current states, if we, within these 9 states, these current states would then collapse?
The way states were broken down, the way Western region was broken down to this state, we want to bring them back. It's still the same state. The only thing now is that we know that the current 36 states, people are already have identity that they believe in it. So we are not going to do away with the boundaries as it is. But for the purpose of the fact that we want to reduce the governance bureaucracy, we are going to have the 9 states constituted, but the 9 new states constituted, but the current states will now be downgraded into provinces. The boundary will remain the same. What is the change now is that in the existing state now, not the one proposed by 9, there will not be governor, there will not be House of Assembly, because it's a wasteful venture. We only have one premier in the new 9 states. But the current states will be downgraded to provinces. Each province will be headed by a provincial administrator. And there will be maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specially technical persons. Is now a project management approach to public policy. Not that you have vehicles, advisors, you have no. We want to develop the country. So we're going to have 4 or 5 technical persons in each of what is now states. The new states, 9 of them now, will be planning commission effectively for the regions, headed by a premier, not more than 5, 6, 7, 8 commissioners.
Okay, so let's get this right, because when I'm looking at this document here, we have the northwestern states, which is obviously what we know today as northwest. Then we have the eastern states, which is the northeast. We have the eastern middle belt, which is more or less an addendum, and central middle belt, southeastern states, which now still the 5 southeast states. Then we have the southern states, which in this case I believe is the nomenclature before now called South.
Yeah.
And we now have Midwestern state, again going back to the old nomenclature.
Bende state.
We now have Western states, which some will say that is then the Yoruba nation,
yeah,
and the Western Middle Belt state.
Yeah.
Now, in essence here, your group has added 3 geographical, you're
entities.
taking away, from the 6 geographical entities we have, you have created 3 more.
Good.
To make it 9.
Yeah.
In that sense, where you are now saying that the states will no longer exist, but be replaced by this nomenclature.
Yes.
The states will now be the provinces.
The current states.
The current states will now be provinces.
Yes.
Now, in doing that, don't you think that would, if you look, that would create more, confusion? Because if you go to the southwest, there are people in Kwara that believe that they are not central people or anything you may call them, that they are Yorubas. If you go to Kogi, there are people in Kogi that believe that they are from a state.
All you are saying is what we have answered in the document.
Okay.
For instance, what we know as Northwest before, but we know Southern Kebbi State, Zulu area, do not belong to North Central State. So we put them now in the Western Middle Belt.
In other words, they are for this to succeed, there's going to be a boundary adjustment.
Absolutely. There has to be referendum for people to actually, these are our own feelings, but there has to be a mechanism to confirm what we are saying. This little Southern Kaduna, the public joined with their kith and kin in Plateau. The Okuns of Kogi, who are Yorubas, will join their kith and kin in the Western region. The same thing, the Igbominas. Now, the Okuns might come as what is equivalent of a full state now. They will become a province.
Creating more states?
No, the province has been downgraded. We are trying to reduce
the state has been downgraded to province. So if you create a new province, inadvertently you've created a new state.
But in what you are posing now, the states will now be at liberty to organize themselves the way they wish. Okay. They can create as many entities as they want, but there is no federal allocation to back it. Okay. You have to survive on your own. So let's say in the western states that we have now, the people in Lagos Island, they might say they want to be on their own. Fine.
They want to be an independent nation.
No, not nation. There will be a province in western states, the way it was in pre-1967.
Yes.
Once they can prove in the western state constitution that they can survive and they can self-sustain, then the bottom line is that there is no more money to share. If you want to break down as many as you wish, you'll be free. In fact, you now have to be paying taxes to state and federal government. You know, before we are used to share from Abuja, so you feel marginalized because you're not getting enough share. But now, federal government has no resource of its own. Will tax all the states. The states will tax the provinces. So each of the entity will pay provincial tax, you pay state tax, then you pay federal tax. In the short time, people will know that you just have to work and eat. There is no more crude oil of Niger Delta for people to just dig their teeth into. But then all parts of Nigeria have resources. Chinese are mining all minerals in Nigeria because we are just irresponsible. Chinese are just like rats all over Nigeria. They are cutting timber from Cross River without knowledge of anybody because we neglected it. They are setting up rice farms everywhere on their own. They are mining in Nasarawa State because the government just focus on Abuja crude oil. They are not seeing what's available in their respective noses. So the principle now is that we only have 9 executive governments headed by premier, whose office is also downgraded, not executive governor. The provinces also downgraded provincial administrators. That will free money for bureaucracy. But territorial entity we maintained. We are not matching one province to the other. But each state is free to produce as many provinces as those people there are willing to sustain themselves and sustain the state administration, pay money to federal government too. This approach will really lower temperature. If we are to adopt this approach in Nigeria to say, oh, census, each province, if we have 10 million people, pay 5,000 per person to federal government.
We'll suddenly have our real figure.
We have a real figure. Pay 5,000 per capita per head. Then you have to go and do audit. How many do we really have in this province? That's the solution to our problem. By the time we flip it over, instead of sharing from Abuja, you contribute to Abuja. Then this is a new dawn, this is a new change. As I said earlier on, if I'm to be made minister from Western State now, the state might say, we have no money. Please, Dr. Ponda, do you have a house in Abuja where you can stay? You cannot go to give you accommodation. Do you have a car where you can drive? On that basis, we will agree for you to be our senator from Western State. Then I gladly accept. I'm now volunteering to work. I'm living in Abuja. I don't need to come to Abuja to be looking for 20 million naira to rent a house for myself because I won an election. So I wish people can just understand that we really have to go this route if we are truly serious in running a government that is proactive, that serves the interest of the masses.
So, in rounding up here, my last question to you will be, the document you shared when the new anthem was officially made public, how do you feel by the reactions you have received so far?
Oh, I feel so elated, on a very, very tiny scale, I feel like David that want to kill Goliath. Because the document I did in my own room privately, without talking to anybody, within 24 hours, is ignited so much discussion. And we need to have the discussion to go more, because we desire change. And since that document has been produced, as I already indicated, we produce a follow-up document on the possible structure, not imposed, possible structure of governance that will bring effect to a good country. It's not to break Nigeria down. We are brothers and sisters. We are brethren. We are going to be neighbors. The people in Lagos say, would they go to the Atlantic Ocean? If they say they don't fight the Western region, where would they go? They want to go to Brazil? Can they move the land from Lagos Island and just join Brazil? Or they move to the Atlantic? No, it's not possible. So it may call looking, and then the document I've produced is not with immediate effect. The proposal is that we should discuss these ideas between now and October 1, 2024. Once the authorities see sense in it, we now have a 1, 2, 3 year transition period where we will draft the federal constitution. The new states will have their own constitution drafted too. Each state in America have their own separate constitution. Some states might say we want premier, we want deputy premier, we want so much. So they prescribe what suits their area. Nigeria should not be straitjacket. You are a minister, you are a governor from Sokoto, you are earning the same salary with governor of Bayelsa. How can it be? You must live with your people and identify with them. So this straitjacket that we have for the whole country, unitary system, this is a way to bring it down to decentralize and to have sense of ownership. Don't look to Abuja again to solve your problems. This minimum wage now, if you are approved in Abuja, can they pay in Cross River? Can they pay in Yola? Can they pay? No. Each of the 9 states now will have its own minimum wage based on its own condition and its own economics. In any case, a rent in Lagos, a rent in Port Harcourt, is it the same thing as a rent in Akure? Why must you earn the same? If you are living in Akure or you are living in Karana Moda, must you earn the same? It shouldn't be. So this one now, once you are in your own state, your economy is based on what you are earning. The person living in Nguru will now live, how much is the rent there? Maybe 200,000 per annum. But rent in Lagos is 2 million. But a civil servant, federal civil servant is earning, I mean, it's not living wage. So this is, if you have these 9 centers of production, centers of competition, centers of unified approach to development, Nigeria will be better.